Hello everyone, welcome back to the SMITE Khepri support guide. Here we are back with the temporarily final episode of the Conquest version. For reference, what Swollen Blue Balls is talking about is I had the carry role, which is not what my primary or secondary role was, so that was interesting. And Swollen Blue Balls had the support role and very kindly traded it to me, so shout out to Swollen Blue Balls. I don't care how ass you are, I'm here for you. Anyways, our team comp is actually nice. We have a nice magic jungler, which I do kind of prefer. Janus was a good example of why, but Janus was also a very special case with his ability to move around the map very quickly. They have looks like a magic ADC, which is going to be interesting. Probably Horus is their support to counterbalance that. So their ultimate damage output hasn't changed substantially. But this, as I said before, this 7th episode will be the last episode of the Conquest guide up until one of three things happens. I accidentally picked up Abduct. I did not actually want to pick up Abduct. That was an honest misclick. I meant to press F2. I accidentally hit F1. Rip me. We are, however, going to be going into Tainted Steel in this one. Tyr self-heals. Kronos has self-heal if he really wants to, and he will probably also be building Lifesteal. Tsukuyomi has Lifesteal built in. Well, I don't know why Pridwen showed up there, but okay. Tsukuyomi will also be, because it's, yeah, right there. Tsukuyomi might build Lifesteal, he probably will, and Horus, of course, has a self-heal. They have physical damage prioritization, so we have this, and we're going to go into Hand of God, and there we go. So anyways, if Khepri gets a substantial buff change before Season 8, I'll do another 3 episodes discussing these changes. If the items change drastically, or at least the items that normally you would want to build on Khepri change drastically, then again, I will be talking about... I'll be making another 3 episodes on Khepri discussing these changes and what they mean, and of course, when the new season comes about, I will be doing 3 episodes updating on the changes Khepri sees in the new season. So, this 7th episode will be the last until one of those 3 conditions is fulfilled. After this, I will be moving on to discussing Khepri in a specifically Clash context, and then an Arena context, and then finally the Jungle context. These will be 5 episodes each. I do the Conquest for 7 episodes because, first off, that is what I think most people are primarily interested in. First off, obviously. Second off, I get to lay the groundwork of... Oh, whoops. I get to lay the groundwork of how Khepri works, broadly speaking. I don't know what happened to Merlin. I forgot how much crowd control that they had. Also, they hit level 2 first, I believe. Either that or they hit it... No. Yeah, because he would have probably built his twist first. I wasn't paying enough attention. I was too busy talking. What is that? Relax, Ukong. It's only a minute and a half in. We've only died twice. It's fine. I should have built Rising Dawn. Misclick was terrible. That is why you generally don't want Abduct first, because you try to use it and you just get smacked by the minion wave, by the enemy with their crowd control. It's just a very bad time. I really need to hit level 2. I love that interaction. Alright. Get me that delicious level 2. Come on. There we go. Now I can do something here. Good, and I can lure some minions back here. That's why he's going ham on this. Just back up a little bit here. I don't want to press that too hard. I could have tried to go for Horus, but we were behind. I didn't think it was terribly likely that we would succeed, just because we were behind. If we were ahead, I would have tried for that. Oh, he beats that. Good play, good play. Okay, I've hit him for some damage. I need to... Do I have enough money for this? I do not. Alright, so I'm just going to try and back up Neath here. Horus is probably going to go for me. That was a nice play. That was a very nice play. I am sincerely impressed. We are now going to back, because we should have enough money by the time we get back. Also, Horus is dead, so I can afford to go back and probably return. I'm not really sure if that's the move here. Let me see. She hasn't got her stacks. He's not going to be building stacks. He's going to be going right into probably... Oh, Tsukuyomi is over there. Yeah, that's a problem. He's probably going to go into Bancroft's, but he might go into... Well, he could go into anything, really, but it's very likely Bancroft he's going for there. I tried to save it. Okay, so where's Kronos? Did he back? I think he backed. Alright, so that wasn't a bad fight. If I hadn't been locked down, I probably could have done a little bit more. The Horus is pretty good. He's paying attention. He's reacting as he really should be overall. The death to Neith was just because the Neith really outplayed him there. That was just a genius move. Even I didn't see that coming. That was just really awesome. I barely missed him. He called that pretty well. Does he have shoes? He has shoes. He rushed shoes, which is interesting. I'm actually not going to do anything to that. I'm going to push this down. What are you attacking? Alright, alright. Oh, they are going. Did he use... He does not have... Hold on. Do you have... You do have... You have Sundering Spear. I can't believe he has Sundering Spear. I haven't seen that in a hot minute. I don't entirely know what he's... Yeah, I don't really know what you were expecting there, guy. I wonder if she meant to target him, or if Neith meant to target Horus, or if the actual target was supposed to be Kronos and they just missed. I can't tell. That's not a chase we want. We're going to leave that one alone. We came out even on that, so we're just going to leave that alone. I'm just going to be here for the split farm. And I think maybe we get the, tough to tell at this point. No. We don't have 700 gold yet, so I want to wait till we can get sovereignty. It's going to be pretty important. I'm going to go ahead and start this for Neith. I'm not in any huge danger. I'm wondering if Horus is going to start rotating. Okay, Neith has boots. I'm not sure why Neith backflipped there. But I'm going to fall back because I want to see where Horus is going. Right now I know Kronos is there, which is interesting, but I want to see where Horus goes. I think he's rotating to mid, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm just going to warn everyone in general because I don't know where Horus is. Now I'm going to have to build the Traveler's Shoes because Horus with his ult can out-rotate me pretty quick. So I am going to need Traveler's Shoes just by merit of the fact that Horus is my lending opponent. He's already built Reinforced Shoes. He is going for the Benevolence. Okay, that's a good pick. It allows him to be able to pretty consistently do some good damage there. So I can understand that pick. It looks like Neith is winning, which is interesting. He just used his ult, which is bad news for Neith. So Neith is probably no longer going to be winning. But I can't really do anything about that. That's Neith's struggle right now. I'm trying to force... I mean, for the next, like, 2 minutes or something like that, Kronos should be fairly vulnerable. Okay. Yeah, that was a terribly... I don't know if he loses his ult there. I'm not 100% sure, but that was not a pro gamer move. That was a very unfortunate ult. I mean, I know it was a desperation move, but there was no way it was going to work because he wasn't going to be able to get the distance to get out of range anyways. Can we do this? No, I was too slow. I don't have my shoes yet. At least I have the HP 5 to be able to absorb damage and not really worry about it too much. Traveler's Shoes will, of course, help in terms of... I didn't need to put that down there. I forgot about my other ward. Traveler's Shoes will help me with the MP5 issues, so that'll be fine. Go ahead. push my buttons. Come on. No? Alright. They're going for this. No, you're just warding. Okay, that's fine. There's Nuwa again. You want to go for that now? Or are you going over for a gank? I can't tell what you're doing. You really don't need me to do anything here other than just absorb the damage. There you go. You used Sundering Spear again. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably dead here. Yeah. Tsukuyomi coming over was what finished me off. I probably could have escaped if Tsukuyomi hadn't been there, but that's just the way it goes. I should have potentially expected that, but I was trying to figure out what the heck Merlin was doing. I probably shouldn't have been... I don't think it was anyone's fault in particular there. I just didn't have enough information and was surprised and was caught out, basically. No one's fault in particular. That just... it happens sometimes. So, let's see what our next move is. Can I actually gank Nuwa in the traditional fashion? Yes, because she is supremely aggressive. I am not fast enough. I need my shoes. Okay, holy cow. What is she hitting me with? Oh, it's the minions. They reduce my magic protections, of course. I'm hoping that Horus comes around. Nope. I know for a fact Horus is going over there. My HP 5 should help me out, so I'm not that concerned about it. But I'm pretty sure... okay, yeah, we're going to have an interesting situation here. They know I'm coming now, which is fine. Let's see how this goes. Okay, good. Nope. Nuwa is going to murder one of us. I don't have mana. My goodness, dude. Oh, she's in that. This should be interesting. She's now got nothing. What? How did that not work? What the heck was that? I shouldn't die here? Yeah, I correctly predicted his stun. What the heck? I did not intend to kill her there. I just wanted to hold her down into the ice. Turns out she just died. Alright, at least I have Traveler's Shoes. Grab another one of these, and grab some multi-potions. Now we'll grab Mana Potions, I think, actually. Okay, so right now we're in a pretty good position. I could be doing better, but I'm doing about even with Horus, so I'm not that concerned about it. I'm a little bit behind in gold, but that's fine. He was in lane for a little bit longer than I was. It took me a longer time to build my shoes, so that's why I'm like 500 behind. It's about 2 waves, I think. Off the top of my head, I could be wrong. But now I can actually keep up with his rotations, so that's pretty important. I'm going to see if I can actually go over here and gank Kronos really quick, because he's running really out of position. He's going for the Scorpion. No, he's going for the... okay. Yeah. That's his ult, which is fine. Thanks for the self-heal. Okay, the Nuwa is a problem for me, because she reduces magic protection so much. Trying to find a pick, but I don't have one. Did I hit her with that? No, I didn't see the damage output. Okay, good, I dodged that. We still have stuff going on here. Oh, wow, okay. You are in that, alright. Wow, alright. Well, I survived, but barely. I don't know what she's doing now. Oh, there she is. That's fine. Did they kill my ward? No, I think it faded naturally. She's coming for me again. Here's her minions. Okay. Let's see if we can get her really quick. She's in that cloud. Oh, yep, I didn't time that right. I completely whiffed that. That was entirely me. I mistimed that. That was entirely what that was. They're pushing mid down hard, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Let me see what I need next. Obviously, my magic protections. Probably gonna go with Pesty, because it is definitely the best thing I can build at this point. I think we'll probably build one more piece of physical protection, and then we'll start doing the double protections. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to build in that aspect yet. Let me see. Well, they aren't really going to be building a lot of crit, so I don't need to worry about that. Let me think here. What will I want? Well, I can't really think about it now. I'm busy coming over here to make sure Cu Chulainn doesn't get triple ganked. He's got Angela, so that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Alright. Good. I have this guy. Nice. Keep going, keep going. We can kill him. Slow him down for me for 2 seconds. No? Alright. Cu Chulainn is doing a really good job in his lane, though. Even though he's died 3 times, he's done more clearing. What was here doing that he lost his lane despite getting... Well, despite Cu Chulainn being ganked, apparently, several times. I don't understand. Unless Huang has been ganking over there, and I just haven't been paying enough attention to that. Did she go in that, or did she go the other way? She did go in that, alright. Not today, Zerg. We need to push this mid-wave up. Tyr's not gonna let me. Alright, fair enough. Yeah. I'll just clear this wave and go back because I don't have any more mana. Although I should put down my wards really quick. I'm going to put these pretty aggressively because we are pushed up in right lane, so Tyr isn't really going to be looking to stay in his lane that much. We both mutually ignore each other. I'm surprised they didn't jump on me there, though. I didn't have much mana, and he might have been able to kill me, but Huang was there, so I wasn't that concerned about it. Huang probably would have been able to save me pretty effectively. I'm going to buy a sentry ward at this point. Don't really need potions anymore. Going to try to save up for, obviously, Pesty itself. I don't know where Tsukuyomi is, but I'm going to take a guess and say probably on his way to kill Cu Chulainn, excuse me. Horus isn't on his way. I don't know where Tsukuyomi went. Can we gank mid? Yes, we can. Okay, he survived. That's good. Just gonna pull Horus out of the fight. Oh, I missed that. Nice. Shells. Oh, I walked into that one. That was not good. Tyr's here. Alright. Yeah, you want to kill him? Go ahead. Try it, punk. Kill him. Thank you. Rooted. Good. I got to kind of rotate out of here. Neat miss. That's fine. That's fine. Good. Good. Alright, so what happened to Tyr exactly? Oh, bold move, bold move. Kill him, kill him. Nice. Good, good, good. Okay. That was a very aggressive. That was surprisingly aggressive out of that tier. That was a huge mistake. You should not really be ulting into a Khepri if you don't have that much health, which he did not. He didn't have the health for that. I just grabbed him and my team took care of it. Like, that's all you really need is Khepri. I don't know why he ulted there. Maybe he was expecting it out, but he has such low magic protections. I don't understand. Good play, good play. Why was he that far up? Okay, good play, good play. Angela? Yeah, they kill him. Or not. Why do you have... There we go. Why does he have Pridwen? He has Pridwen. Interesting. That's why he's not hitting for that much damage. I mean, I understand conceptually why he would want Pridwen, but he doesn't really... He's never going to have the protections to make Pridwen really good. So, it's a bit of an interesting choice. Like, I can kind of understand. If he was solo lane, that would make more sense, but he's not. He's jungle. He needs that damage output. Angela was a good pick. 50 power, 30 magic protections against a triple magic damage team. That's fine, I understand that. Pridwen doesn't make sense for his role. I'll put it that way. He shouldn't have Pridwen. Bloodforge would have been a better pickup. Some power, some lifesteal, that health shield that you get whenever you kill someone, or get an assist even, would have been fine. I heard someone leveling up. Was that Nuwa? That was very close. I also whiffed my root and my abduct. Yeah, we need to not be here. We need to push up mid lane, honestly. Ah, but I rooted you that time, so that was free. I'm not really afraid of him. He does no damage to me, honestly. He's got 10 flat penetration, and that's it. He's doing the same exact thing the last Tsukuyomi did. He has no penetration. He can't kill me. Frankly, he probably can't kill Cu Chulainn either. Let me pronounce that correctly, or quasi-correctly. I'm pretty sure that takes care of, like, most of your minions. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good play on my part. I felt I had a little bit more power. I probably would have been able to wipe out her minions outright, and she would have had no recourse. She didn't stun me or anything like that because she recognized she didn't need to, which is really good awareness on her part, so good play on that. Are we actually doing anything here? Is she in that? Yeah, she is. Good play. I just wanted to go ahead and use the shell on him. Just gonna go ahead and use this really quick, and then die, or not. So much for the self-heal on the death. There's Tyr. He's probably gonna try to kill me. Nope, he's gonna go for Cu Chulainn. Yeah, we need to take this. He's gonna... What is Tyr doing? I'm so concerned he's gonna try to kill me. But, you know, sometimes sacrifices must be made. Gonna make a move? Come on. I thought he was ulting me for a second there. I'm kind of becoming paranoid. If we're fast, we can take this. I'm the only one in bad conditions, so that's fine. If I die, it doesn't mean anything. I'll defend it. Oh my goodness. Alright. Nice. Oh, we're taking this? Alright. I wasn't sure we were going to go for this, considering they're all up, and Tyr was right there. If Tyr had pushed that, he probably could have stolen that with his ult if he timed it right. So it was a bit of a bold move for us. I wasn't 100% sure that would work necessarily. Or work out, let me rephrase that. My next move... We'll go with Midgardian Mail. No. I'm gonna go with Witchblade. Just to help against the Nuwa, the Chronos, the Tsukuyomi to some extent. If he decides to go into... No, he's not going to, but still. His auto attacks at melee range can be a little bit painy to deal with. My next item, I'm not really 100% sure what I want here. Let me think about this for a second. What am I really going to need? Pridwen would be good for the cooldowns, I think. It might also be worthwhile going for Spear the Magus, which could really help out Ao Kuang here, getting people down to the health that they need. I'm fine. Like, almost none of them have penetration, really. Kronos is a big threat to me. Obviously, I could not activate my ult fast enough. Kronos, yeah, is going to be whacking me really hard. He's got demonic grip. Nuwa, of course, is the penetration. She's got the natural magic protection reduction with her minions when they slap you. Horus has no penetration. Tyr has no penetration. The only two people who can kill me are Nuwa and Kronos. And Kronos was, I believe, the one who primarily did the damage. Yeah, 1,000 damage from Kronos is basic. Yep. With that being said, and considering that particularly, we're going to go with what? Let me see. I think I might build a late high to the Urchin. It seems like it would be an unwise decision, but quite frankly, you get a stack for every assist, and it's only 7 stacks, so it's actually not that bad of a late game pickup. And they're doing fantastic without me anyways, which is great. I mean, Horus used most of his kit right off the top on me. It looks like he was the second one to die in that fight. Tsukuyomi was the first. So Horus probably didn't have a lot of immediate recourse to not lose a lot of HP. He probably didn't die right afterwards. He probably did get his cooldowns up and get his kit back, but once he used most of his kit on me to kill me, I don't think he had any kind of method, obviously, because he used most of his, if not all of his kit on me, except for his ult, obviously. So, overall, I think the primary issue there was that he was right in the front lines, he was in a narrow area where he had nowhere to dodge, and he had none of his abilities up right after I died. So I think ultimately that's what got him and probably Tsukuyomi killed to some extent. Okay, we're not pressing this, which is interesting. We're playing somewhat cautiously for how far ahead we are, which is fairly interesting. I'm going to go ahead and listen to the calls. I don't really have much of a problem with that. The Ao Kuang is doing great as a jungler. He is one of the primary people who should be making calls. Usually when... I personally find quite often that the jungler or the support should make calls. I'm too busy talking to you guys, so I'm not really in a position to necessarily be making strategic calls all the time. Obviously, every once in a while I make one, but it's not consistent, because obviously I have things that I want to be talking about and discussing over the course of the match. But, yeah. So right now my only real threats are 2 magic damage sources. Now I don't want to give up my physical protections either, because I don't want to accidentally leave myself open to potential retaliation from towers, from the Titan, etc. I do want to maintain a good amount of physical protections as well. I want to blink in here so I can lock her down really quick. Grab her really quick. Shell dead before she can even stun. That's fine. Okay, good. That worked out really well. I don't know where Horus went. Obviously somewhere in the jungle, but it doesn't really make a huge difference. We can probably just straight push this right down, no issues. Yeah, probably a good idea. Oh wait, we have Horus over there. Can we take him? Go away, Kronos. I really don't want to deal with you. No. I don't think that's a good idea. Oh wait, hold on. No. Did she build pen? Yeah, she built some pen. Good. Somebody just came out of this. Oh, he's trying to trap me. Ha ha ha, no. I'm not falling for that guy. Get out of here. Obvious trap is obvious. Admiral Akbar has been summoned. It's a trap. I'll just give him a tease. This Cu Chulainn is insistent on what the heck? 1v5ing. The retreat was the right call there. All of them were up there. We're all going to be coming out of there, and now we can't take the fire giant because we're not going to have what we need. Can we take this? Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that they don't kill Neath. Run, Neath. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I'm not going to die from this. Oh, he beads that. Interesting. That was very close. If he had penetration, even just a little bit, he would have killed me. But he doesn't have any. Alright, so now next I'm obviously going to be working on my chosen whatever item. I'll probably do the magic one because I don't need that much physical. And then at the end, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. You can see how much I lost, like 60 magic protections from her minions just slapping me. See? Yeah, they do 20 each, I think. Okay, alright. I mean, I have Nuwa over here, so she's more of a threat to the team than I am to theirs. So me... You don't need me. We are far enough ahead that... We are far enough ahead that they did not need me. My main goal there was to try to ward the Nuwa off, because the Nuwa is the one of only two actual genuine sources of damage, as I discussed earlier. Because the Tyr is doing no damage, Horus is doing no damage, Tsukuyomi is doing very small amounts of damage. He's just not doing enough damage to be a major concern. They did not need me. And so by playing around with Nuwa in the jungle, at the very least I could ensure that one of their major damage dealers was out of the fight, and it was down to just the one damage dealer. Compared to R3, which is obviously a huge advantage. She's gonna get ganked by, I think, Tyr. Not enough, not enough. Not enough. Ah, well. Hopefully they can kill one of them so I get an assist in time. Okay, there's the Nuwa. She's gonna slap this Cu Chulainn, yeah. Yeah, the Nuwa is one of the big problems on the team right now. She slaps. She absolutely slaps. Your left Phoenix has been destroyed. Your middle Phoenix is under attack. Let's see. I don't think they're going to be able to take the Titan at this point. We're going to be fine here. Yeah, see, she hits so hard. It's disturbing. Let me see. Still keeping up relatively the same with the Horus, which is kind of funny. He's got way more gold than me, though. That's just because they've cleared the Gold Fury more times. He's also got Compassion as well, or he had Compassion. Yeah, he gets huge amounts of gold from that. So, surprised he didn't go with Animosity. Animosity is very good on Horus. Good. Once she's gone, then my only concern is Kronos, but, you know, the two of them together, because they both have magic protection reduction, the two of them together are absolutely fatal. Now that she's gone, at the very least, Kronos has less to work with. Yeah, I'm gonna go for these harpies here, why not? Notice, though, that they did not kill any of those enemies fast enough in the left lane to get me a assist, but that's fine. Do we gank? What are we doing here? Come on, talk to me. What are we doing? Nope, that's not worth it. Gank right lane? Cu Chulainn can hold them off until we can get over there. They don't have enough pen to actually kill him. Doesn't matter. Go ahead, attack me. See what happens to you. We have Horus, which is fine. Kronos. Kronos is a problem. Kill him? Nope. Ah, shoot. I'm not worried about these two. Hey, Kronos is really gonna take me out, though. Nope. Ah. They killed Kronos, though. That's important. That's a pretty big deal. Oh, that's right. This requires level 20. Oof. The problem here is that Nuwa is very strong against pretty much any Guardian, just because of that magic protection reduction. She's a pretty bad matchup for any Guardian, which is just inherent to the character, and it's just inherent to the role of Guardian as well, so there's really nothing I can do about it. It wouldn't have mattered who I was playing as, it still would have been a problem. It's just what happens, you know? Oh, that fog is... The fog, she really is using the fog very well. The Nuwa is very good. Like, it's all well and good to say, yeah, it's a bad matchup, but you actually have to know what you're doing with Nuwa in order to take advantage of that. It's a very specific trigger that makes the magic protections go down, and she's been using her fog geniusly to prevent Ao Kuang from getting his ults off the way he needs to. So, she is playing this, she is playing very well. It's an impressive job. It is impressive gameplay. I've only gotten the one-up on her once, because she's aware of what my only recourse, really, in fighting against her. And she's been playing it very well. I mean, yes, she's died a whole bunch, and she's not gotten any, but primarily because she's not gotten any escape, and once she doesn't pull me out of the fight one way or another, either by doing a lot of damage or by stunning me, she basically dies because I can pin her down in so many different ways. So she is kind of reliant on killing me, because if she doesn't either kill me or make me weak enough that it's a problem, then at that point I have the ability to lock her down long enough for somebody else to kill her. Kind of the same thing with Kronos if his ult is down. If his ult is down, I can pin him down for such a long period of time that he stands no chance of surviving. So it is fairly important for them to eliminate me just because of how long I can lock the two damage dealers down. And, okay, Tsukuyomi finally has the penetration he needs. Okay. So he's finally got pen, which is why he's probably starting to actually hit hard. There's Kronos. He's going to be looking for me. So is Tsukuyomi, actually. I see you over there, Cu Chulainn. Missed that. Are they backing up? Where's Tsukuyomi? There's Horus. There's Kronos. Missed that. Kronos is a problem. There we go, good. Missed that. Nope, you are not going to kill him today. There we go, that's good, that's good. 3 stacks as well, which is nice. And it's that Nuwa damage. Okay, she's going to be coming in on this. I got her. Somebody kill her, please. Thank you. There we go, that's what I needed. That was an excellent fight. We played that really well. We obviously need to kill Tyr, but we're pretty much where we need to be right now. There we go. Alright. Yeah, we got pretty much what we needed there. That was really good. Horus was eliminated, which is good because he was healing his team, obviously. So the elimination of Horus right off the top by Ao Kuang's ult was pretty big news. And Ao Kuang was able to pull that off because Nuwa wasn't there to protect Horus with the fog. I'm not really sure we need that much going on here. Sure. Do 2 Phoenix, do not try to end. Yeah, Horus is back. He's going to be able to lock us down. Kronos is just about back. Alright, out we go. We're going to be just fine. We can sell this now. We can buy our Elixir of Speed. And then I got to figure out what I want to finish off my items with. I think I'm going to go into Pridwen specifically. Get that cooldown reduction. Which will put me where I want to be. Now I'm going into Pridwen instead of, say, Breastplate of Valor, because I don't really need the mana that much. What I really need is the extra magic protection, again, mostly for Nuwa and Kronos. They're really slapping down my protections hard, so I really want to overcap on that, and I also want the physical protections. You can see how long I was able to... I have to be careful about when I try this, which I just discussed about the Nuwa, where we've been kind of dancing around each other, trying to figure out, you know, if she's going to stun me out in time, if I can grab her before she stuns me. It's an entire conversation. It's a very intense standoff. I have been doing okay, comparatively speaking. Who's over there with Ao Kuang? Ao Kuang has Nuwa. Kill Nuwa. If we can kill Nuwa, we're in a much better position. I'm not worried about Tyr. My goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna die here because Kronos is just gonna straight kill me. This is a bad fight. We should have just gone over, killed Nuwa really quick, and just left it at that. Problem here is that we separated out when we should not have. I'm not concerned about the Tyr. There's Horus, apparently. I've been ulting myself far too often, but that's just because of Kronos' demonic grip. Okay, Tsukuyomi is dead. That's pretty good. She's got her... She used her minions at the wrong point. Once I knew that she had her minions out, that was it. She needs to stun me out of my pull or she dies. And she had already used them. Okay, he ulted out of that. That's interesting, but okay. Why does everyone have Pridwen? Honestly. Oh, missed that. Good. Do we just attack? What are we going to do, huh? We want to do Fire Giant? Alright. That's fine. Pretty crazy fights. Alright, so there is a small risk that Kronos can steal this away from us, but it's not terribly likely. I rather hope he tries. Ao Kuang, don't stand in the lava, please. good. She's probably checking where we all are. There's Horus. He's waiting for us. There's somebody right here. That's Tsukuyomi, or is that's Nuwa? Okay. Nope. They backed up really quick. Okay, that's his stun. That's her stun. I finally have the magic protections I need to not die immediately from that. Okay. Okay. Not a great fight. Here is a distraction. We don't need to kill him. I mean, we'll do. Maybe we can lure them out, but we don't need to kill him. Okay. Yeah, we lure them out a little bit. Yeah. Was it enough? No. I have Nuwa. I had Nuwa. Oh, Kronos is back. I'm gonna die. I'm not likely to make this. This is what I wanted. He's gonna go back too far and he's gonna die. Yep, there we go. Good. Alright, that was a great pickup. Actually, maybe we can get... No, they're gonna kill me if I try. Oh, this might work. Can we bait them out with this? No, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, Kronos is right there. But that's fine. I think if Al Kwong had gone with me, we might have been able to kill Kronos there. I could have blinked in on him. Grabbed him out. Alright. So my protections are nice and high, so no matter what the situation is, I'm going to be fine. Which is kind of the point. Doesn't matter how much they reduce my protections now, it's going to be just fine. There we go. And that's... Oh, wait, they're right here. Not anymore, though. If we can push down right lane. We have an interesting standoff going on here. Let's see if we can force a fight in right lane. Al Kwong is way the heck back there, which is fine, I guess. Well, what's left lane doing? Is that going to be fire minions or what? Nah, it's regular minions. It'll be fine. No, attack. Oh, Nuwa's there.
Impressive killing spree.
I didn't get to kill the Tsukuyomi, but that's alright. Oh, that's bad. Nope, we're fine. Oh, we can't take him. He's too fast. Oh. We're fine. Come over here and kill them. Like, you keep saying retreat, but we can straight kill them. They've got several ults down. Like, come on. I was waiting for that. He's not going to be able to kill him. Because he has his ult up, I think, still. Oh, that was genius. That Ao Kuang is a beautiful, beautiful person. Come on, Tyr. What do you got, punk? Oh, no. Ah, I'm dead. Yep. As soon as she used that, I was dead. Actually, as soon as she showed up, I was pretty much doomed. That wasn't going to happen. You know, it might be a little bit... I'm having a thought here. This might be more effective. Yeah, I think that's ultimately going to be more effective. 50 protections at that high of a level isn't going to be that much more of a issue, but this... Okay, there we go. The enemy team surrendered. Okay. Alright, well, I mean, fair enough, but... Alright, yeah. Nice. That was quite the interesting game. We'll do a brief recap of this one, but I was able to talk about a lot of the points I wanted to just because of how long the game lasted. So, my build was okay. I probably should have built this a little earlier, and I should have built this instead of the Hide of the Urchin, just having the ability to heal. This now gives you 20 physical and magical protections, which I completely forgot about. I forgot that they buffed this massively. Actually, they changed this completely. Hold on, this was in the new update. Yeah, no, this still is very effective. I forgot that they completely changed this, though. But this was probably the better choice rather than Hide of the Urchin. So, this would have been much, much better. I totally forgot that they changed this, to be completely honest. So this would have been a much better pickup than Hide of the Urchins that was on me. This Witchblade was an important pickup because what I really wanted to do was just prevent the Nuwa or the Kronos from killing me when I abducted them. This mostly worked as I intended it to. The Tsukuyomi, it would have worked on the Tsukuyomi if they if Tsukuyomi had gone into auto attacks, which I have seen some Tsukuyomis do effectively. It really depends. But it was a possibility, but Witchblade would have covered that. Pridwen, good item there. Cooldown reduction, that would have been fine. I built Mail of Renewal because I wanted some cooldown and some self-heal. They removed the cooldown. Overall, it is a stronger item now, but it would have been nice to have the cooldown as well. The Cu Chulainn had, of course, a fantastic build, a second Pestilence, which is always a good thing, so even if I was dead, the Cu Chulainn could pick up the anti-healing slack there. Mantle of Discord, which is interesting. The dedication to the almost pure defense is admirable and pretty effective overall. The only reason I didn't go for Stone of Gaia, despite the relative circumstances, is because they only had two enemies that were really going to be able to pop me up, which would be Tyr and Horus. So I didn't really want to go into this, and especially since it didn't give me any kind of protections, and I was really having a problem with Nuwa, as you saw throughout the game. Nuwa was a huge problem. Kronos' demonic grip was a huge problem. I needed more protections. This was one of the very, hold on, I have to defend myself. I was honestly often too far up. Anyways, back to the point here. What do you mean I cannot be serious? Or is he talking to somebody else? I don't really know. They're having their whole argument over there. I don't really care much. But mostly the reason why I didn't want Stone of Gaia is because I did need the extra magic protections. So, that's really where I was going with that. But otherwise, the Cu Chulainn's build was fantastic. I am somewhat curious as to why Corrupted Bluestone was chosen over the other Bluestone, which name I cannot remember off the top. Oh, this one. The Bluestone brooch, I think would have been better for Cu Chulainn, because the Cu Chulainn was already going to be doing a lot of ability damage anyways. I think that just would have worked a little bit better. It's the only part of Rifsy's build that I would say probably wasn't the best choice. I think that Bluestone brooch would have been a better pickup, especially since it gives additional HP, and Cu Chulainn was already so much more focused on protections and survival anyways. It just would have been really nice to, or probably would have worked better with what Cu Chulainn was really essentially playing as. Ao Kuang, of course. Bancroft's great first item for Ao Kuang. Get that extra lifesteal in there. Spirit the Magus just fine. It looks like Spirit the Magus was the last pick after selling the shoes, which is fine. Spirit the Magus is really fantastic. Great overall. Unfortunately, the only real problem with Spirit the Magus on Ao Kuang is while it does really help Ao Kuang a lot of the time, it's a bit more difficult for Ao Kuang to spread that out amongst multiple targets, unlike Khepri, who can maybe hit a couple of people with his root, and then hit maybe a couple of more different people, or the same people, with Rising Dawn. Ao Kuang only has the one ability, well, two abilities technically, that actually can hit multiple targets. So, and even then, one of those is his escape, so that's a little bit more difficult to pull off. The Telkines and Demonic Grip, obviously. Rod of Tahuti is great. Overall, the Ao Kuang, besides playing really well overall, built really strong as well. The Protector of the Jungle is really nice on Ao Kuang. I totally understand why this was built. This is a fantastic pickup here. That little bit of physical protection definitely didn't hurt, especially since the enemy team wasn't really building much in the way of physical penetration. Tsukuyomi built Titan's Bane at the very end, and, you know, up until then, Ao Kuang basically was taking no physical damage, essentially. Well, probably some, but really not that much. The Neath went into the classic crit build, which worked out really well. I do appreciate the Shadow Steel Shuriken for the reduced healing. That's great. The evolved Devourer's Gauntlet. Now, personally, I prefer Transcendence on Neath, but that is a personal preference. Devourer's Gauntlet is very good as well, especially, actually, considering that she built crits, Devourer's Gauntlet was the stronger choice, but if you aren't building crits on Neath, build Transcendence. Executioner, fantastic pickup. Wind Demon, not a bad pickup. Pretty good pickup overall. Obviously, Deathbringer, delicious. Now, the Wind Demon was mostly picked up here for the attack speed. I am not quite as fond of that. The bit of extra physical penetration here doesn't really matter, considering the Executioner, and penetration is usually something you want when you're taking out towers. So, I mean, since you can't crit towers, it was kind of nonsense for the penetration here, so that wasn't really why this was built. This was built purely for the increase in attack and move speed, so that way Neath could get out of ugly situations a bit easier, because Neath's escape is extremely predictable. Effective, yes, but very predictable, so the ability to backflip, turn around, and book it is pretty important, which is primarily why Wind Demon was built here. But this was well built. Neath played pretty well overall. The early game was a little rough, but then we were facing off against Kronos, so that's kind of inevitable with that 2-hit stun. Very difficult to deal with in the early game. Kronos is wave clear in the early game, because his stun technically hits twice, which does lots more damage than Neath's single shot. It was quite, of course, I goofed at the beginning and picked Abduction rather than Rising Dawn by accident. I fat-fingered my Abduction, so that didn't help at all either. Horus, of course, had his wave clear, so yeah, that was primarily my fault, but the Kronos is just good at the level 1 wave clear anyways, and that's roughly why Neath had such a hard time in the early game. Merlin's build, the evolved Charon's Coin. Now, normally I would say, well, this depends on the circumstances. This was the correct circumstance to build this on. First off, they had Tyr and Horus, of course, so there's going to be some pretty good magic protections there in the first place. Tsukuyomi, a lot of assassins are splashing in some magic protections, so there was a decent chance, and it turned out to be accurate, that Tsukuyomi would be building some magic protections. The Pridwen, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but Charon's Coin gave Merlin in the mid-game enough move speed to keep up with Nuwa, because Nuwa moves faster in her fog, so she can technically rotate in a straight line faster than faster than Merlin can at the very least. So Charon's Coin did allow him that opportunity to keep up. This Soul Gem was probably originally the shoes. Now the Soul Gem here on Merlin is fantastic, because quite frankly, with all of the hits that his abilities typically do, most of his abilities hit multiple times, you can stack and trigger Soul Gem, and pretty much any one ability you care to mention, which is extremely powerful on Merlin. And this is a great pickup. Gives him some nice cooldown reduction, a little bit of extra magic lifesteal. He built Spear of the Magus, same thing. That first hit of the ability will make all the rest of them do an extra 7.5 increased damage. He's got great AoE damage, great spread of damage to hit multiple enemies, so he could trigger this on multiple enemies all at one go. This was fantastic. The Ao Kuang, I understand that Spear of the Magus was kind of a build, grab this because there's nothing else to build, and it really helps Ao Kuang specifically as an individual. I understand this. It is a good pickup on Ao Kuang, great pickup here, but it shines here with Merlin. This was a fantastic thing for the whole team. Rod of Tahuti, I love on Merlin because it really helps his bonus damage shot after each ability to really hit even harder, which is fantastic. And he's one of the mages that I really just almost always build Rod of Tahuti on because it's so much more powerful on him. Same thing with Noah, but I'll get into that. The Typhon's Fang, again, a great pickup. He already had the lifesteal from Spear of the Magus, probably was intending to build Soul Gem in the late game, so that was a good factor. The Pendulum of Ages was probably built primarily for the cooldown reduction. You'll notice that he didn't really build a whole lot more. There's the 10% here, and of course, you don't want necessarily 40% because the Potion of Power for the magic damage users gives you 10% cooldown still, I believe. So having 40% wasn't necessary. So Pendulum of the Ages was primarily for the cooldown here. The MP5 is a nice bonus. The passive is a nice bonus of damage. But it was mostly for that cooldown rather than trying to use, say, one of the gems or whatever. Now the Nuwa's build, the Chronos Pendant early on was an interesting choice. This was probably so she could spam her ult as often as possible and make sure she had her potential stun up for when Ao Kuang or I tried to pin her down. But yeah, that would be primarily the issue there, and it did work to that extent. So it was an unusually good pickup, but primarily because of our team comp, which is probably why she picked it up in the first place so early. The Obsidian Shard replaced her boots. Now, I don't really know why she felt the need for Obsidian Shard very specifically, although there's not a whole lot of options in terms of being able to flow well with her magic protection reduction. Quite frankly, at that particular point between Kronos' demonic grip and her own magic protection reduction from her minions slapping people, Obsidian Shard wasn't necessarily what I would have picked here. I think she would have been better off with Spear of the Magus here. She could have, if she saw a fight coming, it was going to get ugly, she could have ulted up, slapped everyone with the Spear of the Magus proc, come back down, fight. We're all taking 7.5% increased damage, and they aren't necessarily yet, depending on how Merlin and Ao Kuang played. But she could have done that. It's something that is surprisingly very useful if you can predict a team fight well enough with Nuwa. But I would have probably gone for that instead of Obsidian Shard. She didn't really need this percentage penetration. The Rod of Tahuti, of course, fantastic. Again, she uses some good basic attacks. Her minion explosions would benefit from this. Absolutely slap, which is why she did pretty well overall. It's why she was able to slap me down a lot of the time. I mean, again, I was too far up a lot of the time. Just being perfectly honest. The Soul Gem is interesting. If she hits all of her minions with the explosion, with the gem, and she hits the target with the gem, and all the minions hit the target, Soul Gem procs. Soul Gem also procs pretty much with ult. So it is a good pickup on Nuwa. If she times it right, though, she preps Soul Gem ahead of time, and then when it's fully stacked, she ults and does bonus damage. It's a beautiful thing. Soul Reaver, same thing. This is primarily directed at her ult and her minions' explosion. Archmage's Gem is something that I am somewhat curious about. This was primarily, again, probably geared to the minion explosion, or possibly her ultimate. But all of these really effectively trigger with her ultimate and also with the exploding minions. She built pretty well overall. She played really well. The use of the fog to prevent people from getting killed by Ao Kuang's ult was absolutely fantastic. Now, the Ao Kuang was able to adjust for the most part, which just goes to show Shorty Slayer's incredible skill with Ao Kuang. Both players were really good. I know they want people to report ice magic, but honestly, I think that's just because Nuwa died a whole bunch of times in a row, and the system probably automatically saw this as feeding, but it really wasn't. It was just a series of unfortunate deaths. The tier is a little interesting. I can understand the Pridwen. Pridwen's pretty good on tier. I understand the Bluestone Brooch, also great on tier. Special Armor was interesting. Neath, yes, had crits, but was it strictly necessary? I think probably tier would have been a little better off with he had Pridwen, so he wouldn't necessarily have needed Breastplate of Valor, but I think possibly tier could have done just as well, possibly, with Witchblade. Decrease that attack speed a little bit. It's an either-or kind of situation. Spectral Armor is fine. A little bit extreme for the Neath. Like I said, I think Witchblade would have helped him against Ao Kuang as well, so there is that benefit, whereas Spectral Armor is offering him nothing for Ao Kuang. So personally, I would have, against our team comp, I would have preferred to see Witchblade, but Spectral Armor wasn't itself a bad choice given the scenario. Winged Blade, did we have enough slows to justify this? We had Ao Kuang, we had Merlin. No, we did not. But there were 2 slows. Merlin's Ice and Ao Kuang's Launched Dragon. The rest of it was roots, was pulls. Like, I have a pull, I have a root. Neither of these trigger Winged Blade. Winged Blade is only triggered by slows. Neath's backflip was a slow, I suppose. That's true. No, I forgot that her backflip slows people. This is a fine grab then. Best pick right at this specific point? Maybe not. This probably could have been... I probably would have swapped Genji's Guard with Winged Blade, personally, just get that extra bit of magic protection up, because Ao Kuang was clearly a big threat on the board, and Genji's Guard probably should have been grabbed earlier. Probably would have helped out. Now, the Relic Dagger, I do really question this. I understand that the tier was probably building this for the faster beads and the faster blink. I understand that, but Relic Dagger in this particular circumstance, while those could save tier, or while the beads could save tier from an Ao Kuang ult, or the blink could put tier in a better position, the ultimate problem is that we had enough damage on our side that even should he blink in more often, or beads out of Ao Kuang's ult often enough, that just left him open to me holding him down and killing him. It wasn't going to make that much more of a difference. What could he have built instead? That's a much more difficult question, but based on our comp, based on how we built, he probably could have gotten away with some anti-heal here, be it Pestilence, Contagion, or Brawler's Beatstick, I believe. Any of those would have been fine. I can't remember if it's Brawler's Beatstick or if it's the other one. I'll have to double check. But I think one of those would have served tier better here than Relic Dagger, personally. Relic Dagger, again, isn't the worst choice he could have made. It was a decent choice given the scenario, but I think it wasn't as fully thought out, because if he beads to the Ao Kuang ult, then I was free to root him, grab him. And if he beads me, he wasn't free to beads the Ao Kuang. Even with the reduced cooldown of 40, that still left 70 seconds, still would have been pretty tough. The Chronos built pretty well overall. I would have actually preferred to have seen him drop the Ornate Arrow in favor of actually possibly Typhon's Fang, get some extra penetration in there. Well, he didn't really need it, though, so never mind about that. Really, it's not a bad build. Kronos just basically got slapped down by the amazing Ao Kuang, really. That's what it comes down to. The Tsukuyomi took too long to build penetration. I mean, Titan's Bane was originally his shoes, which obviously, shoes, fine. Jotun's Wrath, early game, fine. Cooldown reduction, totally understand that. Angela, understand that he was having a problem with Ao Kuang, and this wasn't a bad pickup. This is fine. Given the circumstances, this was a good thing to pick up at this point. Pridwen was a problem. Pridwen, he didn't need. First off, look, you already have 20% cooldown reduction here. You have 10% cooldown reduction here. You're now overcapped on cooldown reduction, and you don't need to be. And it's like, and Boomba's Hammer has 10% cooldown reduction. You never needed Pridwen. You never built enough protections to make Pridwen really work. 50% of your total protections. Look, how many protections do we have? Check this. You had a grand whopping hairy total of 207 protections. That means your shield was doing 100 damage. 100 damage if it even goes off. It was only a 200 health shield. That's not a lot of health. That is not a lot of damage. This was a terrible pickup. I understand that the 30 protections, okay, yeah, that's fine. Pridwen wasn't the choice. You could have gone into Mail of Renewal, achieving very similar levels of protections, achieving some sustain, achieving some heal for your whole team if you really wanted to. You could have gone into... Actually, if you really wanted to have an interesting time, what would have been a better pick would be a Soul Eater. Lifesteal off of your abilities, get 10% cooldown, 10% penetration. Maybe not go into Boomba's Hammer, maybe you go into the other one. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. The Spear. That gives you extra power when you clear a camp. Just clear a camp right before you go into a fight. You're doing, what, 10 or 15% extra damage? You're lifestealing even more. You had a couple of better options for your build than Pridwen. Pridwen was the error at this point. The build was fine until Pridwen. Especially in few, even at the time, they were overcapping on cooldown, and then even more with Boombas. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to build this at this point. You can see right here, holy cow, your cooldown is massively, massively overcapped. It did not make sense. It didn't. There was no reason for this. Titan's Bane, I understand why you have Heartseeker and Titan's Bane combined. That bothers me less. It is a little bit of an overcap on percent penetration, but I understand where they were coming from here. But yeah, the Pridwen was terrible. Boomba's Hammer would have been fine if you hadn't built Pridwen, honestly, because that would have been a nice, perfectly round 40% cooldown reduction. Boomba's Hammer was fine. Spear might have done you a little bit more good, but Boomba's Hammer was fine. But Pridwen never should have been built there. The Horus did well overall. The Heartward Amulet was a good pickup. Boots were rushed. Mantle of Discord replaced the boots. Mantle of Discord was a fine grab. Compassion, I'm wondering if initially Horus was going to go into Animosity and decided to go into Compassion for the magic protections. I don't know. Obviously, Horus got pretty paranoid. Now, Horus picked up the Witchblade. This was a good pickup. This was fine. Actually, the whole build across the board was pretty well done. Did full auras, which is great. Witchblade counters the Ao Kuang to some extent, the Neath. Me, if I decided to go into auto attacks, or Cu Chulainn if he decided to go into auto attacks. Neither of us did. Well, kind of Cu Chulainn did with Corrupted Bluestone, but that's irrelevant. Mantle of Discord, great protections. That's totally fine. The Horus's build was overall fine. I think Horus might have been a little better off. Yeah, see, look, Horus was overcapped on magic protection. We had, besides the defaults of, how much is the default protections for Guardians, like 60 or so? You had a grand whopping hairy total of 75 onto that 60, so that's 135. You had another 50 here, so that's 185. You had another 60 here, that's 245, roughly speaking. This is all approximate. And then you would have had 300. And it's like, okay, sure. And of course, redirecting the damage to you as magic damage. I understand that, but I think what Horus might have been maybe wanting to do a little bit more would have been Animosity. See if you can get a little bit of damage in there. You still have great, HP and MP5 coming out of Animosity. You get a lot of health out of Animosity. I think Animosity would have been at least interesting. Compassion isn't a wrong choice. Compassion is fine. I understand why they built Compassion, and Compassion is a good choice here. But it would have been curious to see what Animosity would have done. And of course, the Witchblade was a fine pickup as well. I do question the Sundering Spear. This wasn't really great. Sundering Spear is not great right now because of a change. You'll see right there, stopping on the first god hit, dealing 15% of current health, which means basically nothing to squishies, and tanks have enough health to spare anyways a lot of the time. I don't know if maybe this was used on me more often than I was aware of, because it happens so quick it's very difficult to see, and in the chaos of a 5-on-5 fight, it can sometimes be very difficult to hear it as well, so that really does depend. I don't know if this was used on me that often. I have no idea. I know early on, like, after Horus and I rotated initially to the mid lane, it was used on me once, but it's just not strong enough, honestly. It's not terribly strong as a relic. Probably Shell would have been a much better choice here. Help protect your squishies, give Cronus a little bit of extra time to use his ult if he needed to, give Nuwa a little bit of extra time to use her ult if she needed to. The Horrific Emblem was a good pick. That's fine. That was a really good choice, considering the situation. But Sundering Spear was not the move. It was not the move. So that's all I have to say about that. My personal performance, again, I should have built a Mail of Renewal earlier because I forgot that it had been changed. And that's on me. And I was out of position several times. 4 or 5 easily. But it worked out. I mean, at that point we were far enough ahead, A, which is not an excuse, but it just allowed us to recover from my death. And B, they did kind of overcommit to me, which was weird. If Khepri isn't attacking you, ignore Khepri, honestly. Khepri does not hit hard. You've seen how little damage I do a lot of the time. I get 1 or 2 kills early game, sure. I've gotten up to 4 whole kills. Ooh. But Khepri doesn't hit hard enough to be a concern. And yes, okay, so they kill me and then they initiate a team fight, but now they've used potentially some ults, which occasionally they did. And now they've got some abilities on cooldown, they've used some mana, and maybe I've hit them with a Rising Dawn or 2, maybe they're not quite at max health. Maybe they've used their precious Pridwen procs. Who knows? I mean, I consistently took Angeli away from Tsukuyomi before Merlin got there, or Ao Kuang. So if Tsukuyomi was anticipating using Angeli to protect himself from Ao Kuang, he was mistaken. And I can do that whether or not I was out of position or not, because if he was committing on me, all I had to do was hit him with a single magic ability, and boom, Angeli is gone. For the next 30 seconds, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, 30 seconds. So, a lot of the times, just by committing that much to me, as out of position as I was, they were sacrificing at least a little bit, not nearly enough to make it worth. I still should not have been in those positions. It doesn't matter what I take with me, unless it's an entire other enemy god, which was never going to happen. But I never should have been in a lot of those positions. I was way too aggressive there in this match, but that's a personal self-reflection. But that was a very interesting game. Thank you all for joining me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, what have you, please leave them down in the comments below. I do read them. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.